Mrs. McInnis here. We're going to talk about the clarinet today. Now the clarinet has the most pieces of any of the instruments in beginning band. So if you pick the clarinet, you're extra super smart. Good for you. Maybe I just say that because I'm a clarinet player too. So this is my clarinet, and the case is red. It's pretty awesome. It looks a little different than yours. But again, most of the clarinets are going to have their latches come up. And the worst thing that happens is seeing a student open their clarinet upside down. Most of the clarinets you'll see will have a thinner top and a thicker bottom, but the most important thing is to watch which way your latches go. So make sure when you set it down that the latches are going to come up. So you open it up, and they don't usually open all the way, so you just have to make sure that it stays open. Now, in your case, you want to make sure nothing is over your clarinet because you don't want to bend any of your keys. So you notice I have all these little areas over here. And in your case, you'll have little areas to keep your reeds and cleaning rags and things like that. And so in the clarinet, we've got our mouthpiece, our barrel, our upper joint, lower joint, and the bell. And so I like to start with the lower joint and the bell when we're putting it together. So you very gently take out the lower joint, and you don't want to smash any of the keys because these guys, especially these long ones, they have a tendency of liking to bend. So try and grab it in the back by this part. And then you take your bell, and you see this cork right here? You want to make sure that this isn't super dry. If it's dry, we can put cork grease on it, and I'll show you that in a different video. And you just gently twist until the bell goes on. Just a tension fit. And if you have the name of your instrument like this, you want the names to line up, because when they made your instrument and tuned it and stamped it with these, they stamped it and tuned it like this. So it's gonna play the best when everything is lined up, okay? Then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your upper joint. Now your upper joint, you see it's got this long piece here that kind of comes by the cork. And you see on this side, on the lower joint, this piece, these two line up. So what you need to do actually is you need to press down on these so that piece raises, very gently twist until they connect and let it go. Now, a way to test that you've put it together right is when you press the bottom keys, the top keys should move. Oh, magic. It's pretty sweet. So then you know you've put that together properly. If you press the bottom and the top aren't moving, that means that these keys are not lined up right, okay? And you don't want to snap that off, so make sure you adjust that right away. The next thing we're going to put on is our barrel. The barrel has two sides to it. One is wider than the other, one is narrower. The wider side is the side that goes on the upper joint. And if you have, again, the name stamped, that makes it easy because the right side up, of course. And again, twist that on. Then you have your mouthpiece. Now the mouthpiece, as we talked about in the last video, has the opening. The opening lines up to the back, to this key right here. This is your B flat key, also called a banana key. So you want to line it up to your banana key. And just pops right in there. And when I was in 5th grade, they taught us to take our thumb and do this to make sure everything was lined up. And it's funny, I still do that when I put my instrument together. I still go just to make sure. It just became a habit. Now you, as a beginner, would have had your reed in your mouth the whole time. I didn't do it because I was talking to you. Then you would take your reed, line it up, just like we learned in the last video, on the beak, over the hole. Take your ligature, very gently put it over underneath the little U, and tighten it down. And then when you're holding your clarinet, your left hand is going to go on the top joint, and your right hand is going to go on the bottom joint. And that's pretty easy to remember because L comes before R in the alphabet, right? So left is first. And then you kind of hold it here. And that's the clarinet.